Tim, which company has disappointed you or us the most in 2024? AMD, Intel, or Nvidia? So I guess they're the three options. What? So this year, Intel, they haven't really when would
There's been no releases,
No.
but there's been the CPU stability
and then their
saga.
handling of that and that disaster. So that was pretty disappointing, but not entirely unexpected.
Yeah.
Nvidia, has Nvidia just done anything terribly disappointing? I mean,
They've launched the Super Series right at the start of the year, and that's it.
and we got
Haven't really done much else.
the GDDR6 version of which that's probably one of the least disappointing things Nvidia's done under the heading of disappointing, let's say, for Nvidia. They've certainly done a lot worse than that. And then again, Zen 5, it's not a bad product. It works. It's a very minor upgrade, I guess you could call it. It's a very small step forward. Probably less so for gaming, but it's not terrible. Whoop, I fell off my chair. It's I pushed back too hard on that one.
It's not terrible, but it's definitely disappointing.
No, but where I was going with this, I was navigating that one too much, Tim. No, I think it's a disappointing release, but I'm not sure how much. I don't even know how to say this. Like how disappointing Zen 5 was for me. It was the handling and the launch of Zen 5 that was disappointing, or made Zen 5 disappointing, or was just that was because it was disappointing. The claims made by AMD back at Computex.
Well, they hyped it up too much.
Too much. It really wasn't a gaming focused or even desktop user focused product. It was more of a server development AI focused product. So overhyped, performance claims bad. They had it, I think 6% far. The 9700X was claimed to be 6% faster on average than a 14700K. Absolutely not the case. So, and then when it was launched, we got the delay. I guess that's disappointing. Then
they wouldn't put it into this sort of category though. That's just okay.
No, I guess it just adds to the whole thing right? And then when we did test it, it was disappointing AMD's handling of it because they didn't seem to know where it should perform and they were working that out. And then just everything that followed, the 24H2 thing wasn't even on AMD's radar when we were initially testing Zen. It wasn't like they knew there was a Windows build coming up that would improve Zen performance overall. And again, it's not even a Zen 5 thing. 24H2 really offers what it does for Zen 5, for Zen 4, and probably most other CPUs. It does address some Ryzen problems there, but I don't know. I'm waffling, Tim. I don't know. That for me, it's hard to say Zen 5 and AMD's handling of it was worse than the Intel stability.
Yeah, I think Intel's clearly in the lead for me, and the reason for this is that their handling of it was very bad, very disappointing, and the situation itself is disappointing. The fact that CPUs are degrading, people are having issues in games with crashing, people using the CPUs for other things are having issues as well, which is more. It kind of takes us to that next level beyond the AMD thing. The AMD thing was the handling was bad and disappointing, but the product, it's disappointing if your expectations are set too high and it sort of underwhelms a bit there. But the product isn't necessarily worse than a Zen 4 CPU. If you got a 9700X and a 7700X at the same price, it's not like if you went the Zen 5 option, you're getting the clearly worse product. It's a little better by a small amount for most desktop users. Whereas with the Intel thing, it's their handling was, I would say, worse than what AMD did with the Zen 5 launch because their communication was awful throughout most of the year. It took them far too long to even acknowledge that there was a problem and to even really make any sort of commitment or statement. It's taken them far too long to identify what the problem is and communicate that to customers. And then the issue itself is bad. The CPUs that people have been purchasing have irreversibly degraded. So that's not good. So I think Intel might have been able to redeem themselves if they handle the situation better. But the fact that they knew internally that there were problems with these parts, that they were continuing to sell them to people, just you could buy them right in the middle of that saga. You can still buy them today. Like, before they had identified and fixed the problem, they said on the record to The Verge that they would not recall or stop the sales of these parts, despite them knowing that there was a problem with them, which I think is really poor form, really poor behavior. So that puts them at my number one disappointment of the year. I think NVIDIA hasn't really done anything to justify this category at all.
Yeah, NVIDIA, very uncharacteristic of NVIDIA, isn't it? Like, they've
usually they do something.
Yeah, there's nothing really, because again, you can point to the RTX 4070 thing, but then with AMD, we got the Ryzen 7 5700,
yep,
which was an APU dressed up not to be an APU. The naming there was bad. Don't care what you say, AMD fans. Bad, very misleading. Bad. They then did the terrible XTX benchmarks. Along with the Zen 5 announcement, and then they did the whole Zen 5 handling. I think that was
there was the Zen 3 XT CPUs as well, where they did the testing with the RX 6600. They claimed
that's right. Yeah, what did I say? Did I say XTX?
You said the 7900 XTX testing or something?
No, the Ryzen 7 5700 initially, and then the XT. I think I might have said XTX, but I meant XT. I don't know what I said.
They shouldn't have XT and XTX or whatever.
Oh, yeah, it's really bad, isn't it? There should be no XT. Processors.
Those CPUs shouldn't exist.
No.
Yeah.
So I think, you would think that would be enough to get AMD number one, but no, Intel screwed up even more. So we've got NVIDIA, AMD, and then Intel in order of best to worst.
Yeah,
so
that's right. It's probably, hopefully Intel can redeem themselves a little bit because they've got a CPU launch that is coming up, and who knows what's happening on the GPU side. So there's still plenty of opportunities for all the companies to further disappoint us at the rest of the year with some of the potential launches and stuff. Hopefully Intel with RLA things go a bit smoother there. So
that'd be nice. We'll see.
Probably won't reverse what they've already sort of done anytime soon.
It's never too early, Tim, to start heading things in the right direction.
That's right. Let's hope for the best.
Yep.